I'm going to be answering questions about birth, labor, delivery, pregnancy really in general, whatever you guys asked me through Instagram. But before I do that, I wanted to bring some attention to the jewelry that I'm wearing. So this is the second time that I'm collaborating with this brand called Ana Luisa, and I absolutely love this brand. Only recently have I decided to really pay attention to where I'm purchasing my clothes and jewelry from. I'm wearing 3 different pieces right now. Right now I have on their small pearl hoop earrings, which are just super dainty and cute. This is the mini Naomi pearl necklace, also very dainty. I normally wouldn't wear earrings with a necklace, but I think this goes really well. It's just super simple. This is my favorite piece out of the 3. This is the paperclip chain bracelet. Again, super dainty, simple, really goes with pretty much all of the outfits that I wear. Even if I want to wear like athletic wear, I can still dress it up a little bit by wearing some dainty pieces. So go ahead and check them out. Right now they're running a Black Friday sale. In my description down below, you can check the link for that. Okay, I had to bring Kobe here because she has been smiling so much all day. Okay, so back to Ana Luisa. They have the most beautiful jewelry, very dainty, simple pieces, all starting from $39. So everything is very well priced. There are no luxury markups, which is wonderful to know. Not only that, they're a sustainable brand. So all of their jewelry is carbon neutral. They're only gonna use the best metals. We are very happy. Oh, she spit up. It's okay, baby girl. All right, so let's get started with the questions. First question that I got, did your vagina rip? It did, I did tear. Not so much. I think it was just a very, very light tear. I probably only got a few stitches. I didn't feel it though, but stitches did hurt because I did not have an epidural, so nothing was numbed. I felt all of that and it was very painful. Was there anything you would have prepared more for or done differently? So yes, there's two very distinct things that I would have done during my early labor stage. If I could go back during my early labor stage, I would have definitely eaten more or eaten a good substantial meal like my midwife had told me to, and I would have taken more time to rest, because I think part of why the pushing stage was more taxing on my body than I had anticipated it to be was because I was so excited for like labor to happen that I don't think I gave my body the amount of rest that it needed, because I was just so like excited. What you need to do is rest while you can, because when you're in active labor and pushing, your body's gonna need as much energy as possible. Has it entirely changed you and Alex's priorities or goals? My pregnancy was not planned. For those who don't know, I got pregnant 6 months after we got married. To be completely honest, I don't think it did, because at that point in my life, I had just started my business, maybe a few months into starting my business and going full time, and having a baby wasn't going to keep that from happening. If anything, it was very great timing. It allowed for me to be able to continue working from home and growing the business while having baby here. And at that point, Alec had quit his job to start working with me in my business, so we're now working together from home, and it's honestly the most ideal and wonderful situation that we could be in right now. We both get to raise our newborn together, and we get to spend more time with our baby, more than I think the average person, so I'm really grateful for that. Seeing your baby for the first time, how has she changed you / your life? Ooh, I love this question. Oh my gosh. So if you watched my birth story, you know that the first couple of minutes that Cove came to this world were a bit traumatic for us. But once I finally held her in my arms, I was in love instantly. I can't say that I had that typical like euphoria feeling that you hear a lot of women who gave birth talk about. I think I was still very phased. Basically, Cove came out not breathing, and it really made my mind go to the darkest places. But then once she was okay and breathing and in my arms, I just couldn't believe she was in front of me. She wasn't anything that I had dreamed of. I don't know if I had held a newborn or any baby remotely that small, like really ever, I think. but for some reason just holding her was such a natural instinct for me. And I always say now that if you're a mom, no one can ever hold your baby better than you can, because you and her are one and you just have that. What did you do to prepare for labor mentally and physically? Well, let's see. I was very cognizant of how mentally taxing I think labor would be. I knew that it would be painful to any degree, no matter whether you have the highest pain tolerance or not. Like, you're still gonna feel some sort of pain or pressure. I really took the time to just remind myself, like, okay, this is like as exciting as it's gonna be. It's not gonna be like pleasant. And I definitely prayed through it a lot. I think the thing that we did the most to prepare was we prayed every single night. The Lord was really the one that like prepared my mind for what was to come. And even though things didn't go as planned necessarily, we took a birth class through my midwife. The instructor went over how Alec would be able to help me cope with the pain. Different exercises and all that, and that was really helpful. I feel like I know myself, and I knew what Alec could have been like in labor if we hadn't prepared, and I just told him, like, this is what I'm gonna need. I think him knowing my love languages and just knowing me really helped with like what he can do while I'm in labor. Physically, I did do a couple of perineal massages, but after the second one, I think I used like coconut oil, and for some reason it got really itchy, so I stopped after that second time. I never did it again, and yeah, so I don't know if I had continued to do perineal massages if I wouldn't have teared, but yeah, I don't know. What are the things they don't tell you about delivery? Ooh, that's a good question. I need to think about this one. I guess I didn't really expect to be bloody, so like very bloody, and I guess that's kind of to be expected because a baby's being pushed out of you. But yeah, I just remember after giving birth, there was blood all down my legs, and I don't know if that was my personal situation or if that happens for every woman, but yeah, I just remember looking at my legs and just blood was like all over, kind of like a horror movie. Something that I didn't know before obviously learning about it, I knew it before actually giving birth, but I never knew it before like getting pregnant, is that you have to deliver your placenta. So once your baby is delivered, whoever your care provider is going to like knead at your tummy, almost like kneading bread, to get the placenta out. Sometimes they have to give you a shot of Pitocin to help your uterus contract, and I did get that. What was the most beneficial thing Alec did? Oh my gosh, Alec was amazing. He is such a... There were so many things he did, but when I was laboring at home... What is it, baby? He was just getting everything ready, just preparing the apartment. He was just with me the whole time. I was very clear about expectations on, I'm gonna need you to be super engaged. I'm gonna need you to, you know, ask me questions. He didn't actually ask me. Like, you can only guess what you'd be like during labor and what you think you'll want during labor. You kind of only find out when it actually happens. But he was just with me the whole time. He was right by my side the whole time. And what I love is when he would like stroke my arm or my like leg or my back like this. His just naturally calming presence was very good for me, I think. Was there a concern pre-pregnancy about miscarriage? I get so much anxiety thinking about it. Yes, okay, so definitely in the beginning I had a bit of anxiety because I didn't know what to expect. Obviously, my first pregnancy, and in the very beginning is when you're at the highest risk of miscarriage. After between week 10 and 12 is when I felt much better because the risk of miscarriage goes down substantially. After that, like, first trimester stage, I honestly had much less anxiety, and my pregnancy was very low risk, very like no complications, nothing to really ever question, besides a couple of times, but they ended up being okay. Those were more towards the end because I also found out that I was pregnant at 3 weeks. So I technically had only been pregnant for a week, and so obviously that's very early, so there's more time to worry. Did you do a home birth? It looked like Alec delivered Cove in a picture you posted. I gave birth at a birthing center, and it looks a lot like a home inside, but that's the point. At a birthing center, they want it to be more homey, more cozy, so they'll stage it to look more like a room, like a home. And in that room, it was basically like a bed, a lot of space to walk around, there was a tub, and then like a bathroom. Yes, that is why it looked like I was in a house, but no, it was my birthing center. Does sex feel any different now after giving birth?
Yeah.
How? No, it doesn't. We had sex for the first time 8 weeks postpartum. I was technically cleared 6 weeks, but I just wasn't quite comfortable yet. I was also bleeding a little bit still. I just wanted to wait until I felt super comfortable. I would say no, it doesn't feel different. If anything, it has kind of reset my sensitivities, and so it almost feels like the way it did when we first got married. In the very beginning though of my postpartum, my urethra hurt so bad whenever I would pee, and I didn't think that would ever go away, but it did eventually. That was probably the only thing that I was like kind of concerned about, but now it's completely like healed and it doesn't hurt. Everything feels back to normal down there. Did you feel prepared for labor? I felt like I could have done everything I could to prepare for labor, but at the same time, I didn't have a checklist of things to do. I don't know. I just felt like the best way I could prepare was mentally. I felt very calm and like ready. I don't know. Ready. That's the best word that I could use to describe, is just that I felt ready. Did you take anything or follow a diet? If you're talking about during pregnancy, I didn't follow a diet. I drank a lot of protein shakes to make sure that I got enough protein in. I don't normally eat that much meat, so I wanted to make sure I was getting at least protein some other way. And I took prenatal pills, obviously. I used the Ritual brand. I think I generally have a healthy diet. How was labor different to what you expected? All I can say is labor definitely was more painful than I expected it to be. I think a lot of pain is derived from fear, and so to keep yourself from fearing birth and the pain, just educate yourself. But I think I was overconfident to the point that I thought that there was no pain involved in labor at that point, and that it was a mind game, but no, it genuinely is very painful. Oh my gosh. I think you're hungry. Best part of having a baby. Oh gosh. How could you not smile, you know? I just love having her. I love being a mom. I love being her mom. Even when she's crying, I'm just like, okay. Honestly, it reminds me of just how needy a baby can be and how needy we are for God. We're his children, and he meets every need just like a mom would meet her newborn's need. It just reminds me and puts things into greater perspective of our need for our Savior. That's something that I've been thinking about a lot as I'm with Cove. How did you set up your home / get organized for postpartum, meal prepping, etc.? Oh my goodness. My sister set up a meal train for us, and if you don't know what that is, it's basically a means to have your friends and family bring you meals for the first couple of weeks after an event. So in this case, obviously having a baby, that really helped us with not having to worry about food and what we're gonna eat and cooking. That was really helpful for us. And basically your friends and family would get a link to a calendar where they can sign up for a time slot or a day to bring you food. It's looking like I'm gonna end this video. I hope you enjoyed that Q&A. I had fun answering questions. And don't forget, the link for Ana Luisa's website is down below in the description, so you can check out their exclusive Black Friday sale. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.